And I'm sure she'll want her, right? Yeah. I wasn't there when
All right. I'm going to call us to order. We've got 6 o'clock. Ms. Hobbs is on her way, and I know Mr. Smith won't be here, but we do have a quorum present here with 7 of our 9 board members here. So if you will look at your agendas, our first item up is agenda approval. So do we have any additions or changes to the agenda? Okay. Two personnel issues. Any other additions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Move as amended.
Second? So, Ms. Lane and then Mr. Grizzard, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we have an approved agenda. So we will enter into closed session pursuant to Code Section 2.2-3711A, 1 and 2 of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. The board, upon a motion and a second, will convene in a closed meeting to consider personnel and student matters for the 2025 and 2026 school year. We will also be reviewing the applications received for the Southampton County Public Schools Ad Hoc Committee for Transparency and Accountability. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
All right, second? Second. All right, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? We'll go into closed session. We'll meet in the library today. Second, my team. Sorry. Reminding
And it just that was the hard one. And see, when I was in the hospital, they didn't get me out of it unless I asked them.
They got me the lady made me like that. Go up and down some steps.
That's what they had to do. They asked me last day. She ran that Never asked me how that
I signed a certificate. So you gotta save that. It's gonna be worth money someday.
Yeah, you got to put that in the brain now. He tells me when the why not? That's what mamas and aunts and daddies and grandmas and granddaddies, right? Sitting on that thing. You shouldn't have aunts and uncles that want to marry. Let them on the But it was, I don't know, I know like my first therapist came that one
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Goodwin. You a cipher so eyes. How are you doing? You doing okay? Hey, man. How you doing? Good to see you. Hey, Brown.
Welcome, everybody. Dr. Tyndall, if you would read the certification from closed session.
Whereas the Southampton County School Board has convened a closed meeting on this date pursuant to an affirmative recorded vote and in accordance with the provisions of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act. And whereas paragraph 2.2-3712 of the Code of Virginia requires a certification by this school board that such closed meeting was conducted in conformity with Virginia law. Now therefore be it resolved that the Southampton County School Board hereby certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, only such business matters as were identified in the motion convening the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered by the school board.
Ms. Artis, if you take a roll call.
Mr. Deborah Goodwin. Mr. Michael Bridget.
I certify.
Mr. Sandra Hall. I certify. Mrs. Natalie King. I certify. Mrs. Horace Lane. I certify. Dr. Jennifer Kendall. I certify. Mr. Jason Williams.
I certify.
Mr. Brandon Ross.
I certify. Thank you very much. All right, if we could have the audience stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I believe we have a distinguished student here to lead us in the pledge tonight. Hey, young man, what's your name?
Breon Peoples.
Nice to meet you, Breon. Go ahead.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, sir. You could remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. First up on our agenda is approval of our minutes from our regular meeting. Board members, you had those included in your packets. Did any board member have any amendments, corrections, or alterations to the minutes for the January 12th regular board meeting or the January 29th work session? All right, if there are no amendments or changes, the minutes will stand approved. Dr. Harris Muhammad, you are up with Superintendent's Students of the Month.
Testing. Good evening, everyone. We are at a time during our agenda we get to celebrate our students and staff, and I will ask our school principals, starting with Ms. Gary from Capron, to come and share with us the Student of the Month from Capron Elementary School.
Good afternoon, Dr. Harris Muhammad, Mr. Rogers, Dr. Tyndall, and other school board members. Happy School Board Appreciation Month. Thank you for all of your service and your time. So first we have Mr. DeAndre McNeil. DeAndre is a 4th grade student at Capron Elementary School. He was nominated by his teacher, Mrs. Roach. She states that DeAndre is such a kind and sweet student. He is always thinking of his peers, encouraging and helping them in any way possible. Not only is he kind and helpful, but he also works very hard and gives his best each and every day. So far, he has mastered many of the 4th grade skills in math and reading. He is doing such a great job, and Mrs. Roach and I are both very proud of him. DeAndre McNeil. Okay, next we have Mrs. Eliana LaRoque. Eliana is a kindergarten student at Capron Elementary School. She was nominated by her teacher, Mrs. Holland. Mrs. Holland states that Eliana puts forth effort in her learning. She is very focused and doing a great job at learning new skills, and she always has a smile on her face. Eliana LaRoque. Thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Fowler from the Heron Elementary School.
Thank you. Good evening, board, and thank you. Go with her sentiments about thank you all for all you do for us. I'm excited to be able to come and stand before you as the principal of the Heron Elementary School and present 2 of our students. For the month of January, we had 2 really different students. We have a kindergartner and a 5th grader. So I'm gonna call my kindergarten student up, Quaterion Lee. So this is my buddy Quaterion. We call him Terry. Terry is a twin, and his twin brother Mari is sitting right back there cheering him on. So he is a kindergartner in Miss Pretty's classroom, and Miss Pretty recommended him because he is doing an amazing job in kindergarten. He helps his classmates, he helps Miss Pretty, and just the other day I went in his classroom and he was helping to get everybody back under control, telling everyone to sit on the carpet and do what the teacher told them to do. So I just want to recognize Quaterion Lee. My next student, I'm not even going to read about our next student because I have so much good stuff to say, but I would like to introduce to you our fabulous 5th grader, Magnus Edwards. So Magnus is not unfamiliar to this territory. He's been nominated before. Both of his parents work at the middle school. He is an exemplar student in 5th grade, and I could not let that go by without recognizing him one more time before he leaves my doors. Usually Magnus is pretty shy, and he'll do anything you ask him to do, but he's not gonna jump out there. So this year we asked him, would he be one of our ambassadors? We like to have kids at the front door that when we do our car loop, some of the little ones come in and they gotta have somebody to get them to their pre-K kindergarten classroom. And at first Magnus was a little bit hesitant about doing it, but he broke out of his comfort zone and he's out there at the front door greeting kids every single morning. And I'm so excited to see what he does next year when he travels down the road to the middle school. So Magnus Edwards. Thank you.
Next, we have Ms. Street from Nottoway Elementary School.
Good evening, and just like my other colleagues said, thank you guys for everything that you guys do. We greatly appreciate it at Nottoway, and we definitely appreciate all the support through everything that we've been through in the last week or so. With that being said, I'm going to start with my kindergarten student first. So can Caden Holloway please come on up front? Caden is one of our kindergarten students, and he was nominated by Miss Claude, and he was nominated because of his outstanding reading skills that he has just been learning and growing, and he is really doing a fantastic job with that. But also he is such a sweet and kind friend to all of his classmates. Mr. Caden Holloway. Now my next student is a third grade student, and this is Miss Jolie Snealing. Come on up. She is a third grade student at Nottoway Elementary. She is brand new to me. All of her teachers nominated her because she has 3, and they nominate her because she is always trying her best. She is working really, really hard on all of her subject matters. And when she got the Student of the Month, literally, she was so shocked, so excited that she was the Student of the Month. She couldn't believe that she was chosen. So I knew right away that she had to be the one that I also got to bring to you guys tonight because of how excited she was.
Next, we have the co-principals of Riverdale Elementary School.
Good evening, Dr. Harris Muhammad and Mr. Rogers and members of the board. We would like to present Riverdale Elementary School's January Students of the Month. Can we have Thomas Boland first? Thomas is a 4th grade student at RES. Thomas is a helpful classmate to his peers. He consistently follows school rules and is a friendly and respectful to his classmates and teachers. Thomas is a fine example for a student. Thomas Boland.
At this time, could we have Paul Cheatham come forward? Okay. Paul is a 5th grade student at Riverdale Elementary School. He was nominated by our 5th grade team. He's a model student who comes to school with a positive attitude each and every day. He treats everyone with kindness and is always willing to help his peers. He is always polite and respectful to his teachers and works diligently to complete all assignments given. And that is a true definition of our motto, we rise by lifting others. He's a great student each and every day. Paul Cheatham.
Next, we have the co-principals at Southampton Middle School.
Good evening, Mr. Rogers, Dr. Harris Muhammad, and other distinguished members of the school board. Tonight, we would like to honor our middle school students of the month for the month of January. First, we would like to begin with our 6th grade student of the month, Mr. Payson Hash. Payson consistently demonstrates Indian pride by being respectful and engaged in all of his learning. He approaches school with a positive attitude, shows respect to both teachers and peers, and willingly helps others when needed. His actions reflect what it means to be a responsible and supportive member of the SMS community. Mrs. Madison, our 7th grade principal, is absent today, so I'm going to read off the 7th grade student of the month as well. And this student is Destiny Cole. Destiny displays an outstanding work ethic, excellent classroom behavior, and a willingness to support and help others. She is an exemplary scholar and role model for others. Let's give it up for Destiny Cole.
Good evening, Mr. Rogers, board members, Dr. Harris Muhammad, community at large. It is my distinct pleasure to recognize the Student of the Month for the class of 2030. And before I do that, on behalf of the administration of the middle school, I want to say thank you to the school board members for your unwavering commitment, service to our scholars and to the community. For the class of 2030, for tonight, we'd like to recognize Mr. Jordan Smith. Jordan has demonstrated growth this school year. He is a well-rounded and respectful student athlete. Jordan became more focused within the last month to reach his Lexia and admin goals. He demonstrated respect at all times. It is my privilege to recognize Jordan Smith on tonight. Thank you.
Next, we have Principal Baraka from Southampton High School.
Good evening, Dr. Muhammad, Mr. Rogers, and esteemed board members. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Southampton High School's Students of the Month. Ava Schools, 9th grade. So Ava is absent this evening, but Ava is a studious, kind, and respectful young leader who consistently shows care for both students and staff. As an athlete, she values teamwork and determination, and she brings the same commitment into the classroom every day. Ava works hard, supports new students, assists teachers, and stays actively involved in multiple activities. She's also a proud member of our academic and CTE clubs. We are incredibly proud of Ava and the positive example she sets as a 9th grader at Southampton High School. Again, Ava Schools. Next up, we have Breon Osborne Peebles, 9th grade. So you all can see, he's here with his cheering squad.
That's right.
Breon is a warm-hearted, talented, straight-A student with a strong work ethic and a positive spirit. He is athletic, motivated, and brings great energy to everything he does. Breon loves learning, enjoys staying active, and consistently shows respect for others. He is dependable, focused, and he has a bright future ahead. So when we named Breon in my office, he could not believe it to save his life, and he was like, "Are you sure it's me?" So we're proud of Breon. Breon Osborne Peebles.
Wow, Breon.
Thank you.
This is probably a good place for us to also, on behalf of the board, just to say thank you for all the love that we got surrounding our seats tonight. I sat down and I think Dr. Tyndall was the one that said, I feel like I'm in a fort, or it was from this side of the table at least. But thank you so much for taking care of us from all of the schools. I especially appreciate, we got some really cool artwork that's going to be really awesome to take a look at. So thank you very much to all of our schools for taking care of us and recognizing the work that's done here. And I wanted to thank all of the board members for the work that they put in. We've had some extra hours that we've had to do recently, and I just want to thank them for their commitment and their time that they're putting into this work. Dr. Harris Muhammad, I think next up is Employees of the Month.
Yes, also congratulations to all of our young people who were here and their families and their teachers as well. The Employees of the Month will be presented by Ms. Hutchison, our Human Resources Coordinator. Ms. Hutchison?
While Ms. Hutchinson comes up, those of you that were recognized, if you're able to stick around, we'll do a quick picture after we do Employees of the Month and finish with the Students of the Month. We'll get a group picture in the hallway. If you can stick around for a couple of minutes for that, that would be terrific.
Good evening, Mr. Rogers, Vice Chair, Dr. Tyndall, Dr. Harris Muhammad, and all board members present. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you tonight the Employees of the Month. starting with Capron. Our first employee of the month for January is Ms. Erin Harcum. Also representing Capron, we have Mr. Charles Cooper. Next up, representing Meharon Elementary, we have Mr. Eric Benton. Also representing Meharon, we have Ms. Ashley Worth. Representing Nottoway Elementary, we have Ms. Joanna Kume. Also at Nottoway, we have Ms. Adriana Dorch. Representing Riverdale Elementary, we have Ms. Tierra Daniels. Also from Riverdale, we have Ms. Jamie Morgan. From Southampton Middle, we have Ms. Chessie Daughtry. Representing the middle school as well, we have Mr. Colton Germani. Moving on to Southampton High School, we have Miss Elena Crowder. Representing Southampton as well, Mr. William Overstreet. Representing the Transportation Department, we have Miss Sheila Lewis. Representing the Food Service Department, we have Miss Giovannia Freeman. Representing Central Office, we have Miss Yvette Nichols. Also representing Central Office, we have Ms. Tammy Lowe. That concludes the employees of the month. Thank you. Congratulations to all.
We'll take a brief recess. We have to get a couple of pictures in the lobby with our students of the month and our teachers, or staff of the month. So if you can hang with us for about 5 minutes.
No, don't call it.
No, that's when you got to take a picture.
I agree, that's a serious question. That's a serious question. Yeah, but you got to hold my hand. Say no, no.
Oh, absolutely. I do.
All right, thank you everybody for entertaining a brief recess for those photo opportunities, and thank you to the parents and faculty that came out tonight and brought our wonderful students. We are moving on to School Board Appreciation Month. Dr. Harris Muhammad.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. What an exciting time to be a school board member. I too know and understand the hard work that our school board members, appointed or elected, do in their day-to-day work, and I am most appreciative to work with 9 phenomenal school board members that are serving our school division with their heart. I have a proclamation to honor School Board Appreciation Month for February 2026. Whereas the education of our children is the foundation of a thriving and prosperous community, and school boards serve as a critical link between public schools and the communities they serve. Whereas the dedicated members of the Southampton County School Board embody the belief that we are better together by devoting their time, leadership, and expertise to ensuring equitable access to high-quality instruction, strong learning environments, and opportunities that allow every student to thrive. And whereas the Southampton County School Board plays a vital role in setting the vision, policies, priorities that guide Southampton Public Schools in service of students, families, and the broader community. And whereas through collaboration with educators, staff, families, and community partners, the Southampton County School Board upholds accountability, transparency, and responsible stewardship of public resources. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Southampton County Public Schools hereby recognizes and celebrates February 2026 as School Board Appreciation Month, and encourage all schools, staff, students, and community members to join in this celebration. If we could give our 9 school board members who fight for us every day a round of applause for the work that they do. And I'm very grateful that you all enjoy your gifts. Some of your gifts did not arrive because of the inclement weather. So in a week or so, you'll have another round of gifts from some of our schools. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know what we'll do with all of it. Really, we're blessed to be in the positions that we are and to have an opportunity to serve and to do this work, especially in a division that is as good as Southampton County, surrounded by so many good people. So really appreciate that, Dr. Harris Muhammad. Any other comments from board members?
I'd just like to say thank you. We appreciate you.
All right, that moves us on to School Board Clerk Appreciation Week. It's February 16th to the 20th.
I want her to have the whole month, our school board clerk. Appreciation Month. They go hand in hand and they are celebrated in the same month. Whereas school board clerks play a critical role in supporting effective governance by ensuring accurate records, transparent processes, and compliance with state and local regulations. And whereas school board clerks prepare agendas, record minutes, and facilitate clear communication among the Southampton County School Board, Southampton County Public Schools staff, students, families, and community stakeholders. And whereas through professionalism, attention to detail, and deep institutional knowledge, the Southampton County School Board clerk served as a trusted resource for board members, staff, and the community. And whereas the dedication and hard work of the Southampton County School Board clerk significantly contribute to advancing the mission of Southampton County Public Schools and supporting student success. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the Southampton County School Board hereby recognizes and celebrates February the 16th through the 20th, I know we're a week early, as School Board Clerk Appreciation Week, and encourages all schools and community members to join in this celebration. Ms. Artist, we love you. We appreciate you and all of the work that you do, not only for the governance team, but the entire school division. So thank you so much. You don't have to leave it there. We just want you to see it.
Thank you so much, Miss Artis. We just joked a few seconds ago, we've never seen Miss Artis rattled. She said that you'd have to show up to see the alarm clock go off. So we'll cut her some slack and we won't get after her that early in the day. But thank you, Miss Artis, for keeping all of us straight. We really appreciate it. All right, National School Counseling Week.
I haven't served as a school counselor, but they are an important group of people that serve our students in our schools. National School Counseling Week is February the 3rd through the 7th, whereas the theme for National School Counseling Week, Helping Students Thrive, highlights the indispensable role school counselors play in nurturing students' confidence, well-being, and success both inside and outside the classroom. And whereas school counselors in Southampton County Public Schools are essential members of the educational team, supporting academic achievement, social-emotional development, and career readiness for all students. And whereas school counselors in Southampton County Public Schools provide critical guidance and support to students as they navigate personal challenges, build resilience, and set and achieve meaningful goals. And whereas school counselors in Southampton County Public Schools foster safe, supportive, and inclusive learning environments and serve as advocates for equity and access, ensuring every student has the tools and resources needed to reach their full potential. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Southampton County Public Schools hereby recognizes February the 3rd through the 7th, 2026, as National School Counseling Week, and encourages all schools, families, and community members to join in celebrating and honoring the dedicated school counselors who make a lasting difference in the life of our students. We are all of our school counselors who are present this evening. If you can just come forward so we can show you some love. Thank you. We have some gifts for you.
We're checking to see if you can meet that part in your job description where it says you can lift 5 to 10 pounds.
And Ms. Key, you can face her. She's going to take your picture. Thank you.
All right, I think we've got one more career and technical education. Oh, 2 more, okay.
Career and Technical Education Month. The theme this year is awareness, exposure, and exploration. Whereas economic and technological changes in society are rapidly reflected in the nature of today's workplace, thereby placing new responsibilities on Virginia education system. And whereas career and technical education provides the Commonwealth students with a career pathway for post-secondary education and workplace readiness in a global economy. And whereas career and technical education gives students experience and practical, meaningful applications of basic academic skills, which promotes deeper learning and improves the quality of their education. And whereas career and technical education is the foundation of a strong, well-educated workforce, which fosters productivity in industry and contributes to Virginia's leadership in the national and international marketplace. And whereas career and technical education offers lifelong learning opportunities that provide individuals with more career choices, expanded earning potential, and greater job satisfaction. Whereas the cooperative and ever-increasing efforts between career and technical educators, administrators, and representatives of business and industry stimulate the growth of the Commonwealth's economy by preparing students for careers in high demand, high wage, and high technologically skilled areas. And whereas the national theme of Career and Technical Education Month, awareness, exposure, and exploration, demonstrates the crucial role that career and technical education plays in preparing Virginia students for successful careers. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Acting Superintendent and the Southampton County School Board proclaims February 2026 as Career and Technical Education Month in Southampton County Public Schools and in the Commonwealth of Virginia. If we have any career technical education staff here and our CTE supervisor, please come forward to be celebrated. Thank you, Ms. Key. Face Ms. Key so she can take a picture. Thank you. Thank you.
And Dr. Harris-Mohammed, you said you have one more?
Two more. Okay. Celebrating Kindness Week and Black History Month. We're celebrating Kindness Week, everyone. Actually, February 10th through 14th, but let's be kind every week, every day. Whereas kindness is an influential force that strengthens school communities, fosters positive relationships with families and businesses, and creates environments where students and staff feel loved, safe, supported, and valued. And whereas acts of kindness, both big and small, promote empathy, respect, and understanding, contributing to an improved well-being, academic success, and a stronger sense of connection across Southampton County schools. And whereas Virginia Kindness Week provides an opportunity to, with intent to uplift kindness in action by encouraging school communities to reflect on how compassion, inclusion, and care can be practiced daily to ensure everyone truly belongs. And whereas Southampton County Schools is committed to cultivating a culture of belonging that honors the identities, experiences, and voices of every student, family, and staff member. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Southampton County Schools hereby recognizes February the 10th through 14th, 2026 as Virginia Kindness Week and encourages all schools, families, students, business partners, and community members to join in this celebration. Thank you. A last proclamation. We are celebrating Black History Month. Whereas in 1926, historian Dr. Carter G. Woodson, a Virginia native, established what would later become Black History Month to celebrate the profound contributions, achievements, and cultural influence of Black Americans throughout the United States history. And whereas in 2026, Southampton County Public Schools invites all schools and community members to recognize 100 years of Black history, honoring a century of legacy, resilience, and excellence deeply embedded in the history and fabric of the Southampton County community. And whereas Southampton County Public Schools acknowledges that Black history is both historic and living, reflected not only in the milestones of the past century, but also in the brilliance, creativity, leadership, and lived experiences of our Black students, staff, and alumni across the community today. And whereas Southampton County Public Schools remains committed to cultivating inclusive learning environments that affirm identities, deepen understanding, and empower students to engage critically with history while envisioning their role in creating a more just and equitable future. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that Southampton County Public Schools hereby recognizes and celebrates February 2026 as Black History Month and encourages all schools and communities members to join in this commemoration. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and school board members.
Thank you, Dr. You deserve a drink after all of that. That's a lot of talking. Thank you very much for that work. We are now at the public comment portion of our meeting. If members of the public would like to have spoken, they should have signed up in the lobby prior to the meeting. We offer each individual that would like to speak 3 minutes to share their comments. We ask that you would refrain from referencing specific staff, students, or others directly and address your comments to the board. And we would also like to remind you that board members will not respond during this time, but we will be taking the information that you have to share with us. Did we have anybody to sign up? Oh. I said all of that for nobody that signed up today, so there will be no public comment this evening. Right. Moving on down to matters from previous meetings, we did not appoint a deputy clerk during the reorganization portion of our previous meeting. Dr. Harris Muhammad, did you have a recommendation to bring forward for the deputy clerk position?
So, Mr. Chairman and school board members, I'm going to support Ms. Artis in that role as much as I can.
So you'd like to serve as the deputy
Sure.
clerk, okay? Comments from the board regarding Dr. Harris Muhammad recommending that she'll serve in the deputy role to support Ms. Artis. I think my only question or concern may be that we're in the midst of a superintendent search and there's a big role on the board clerk there. I don't want to speak for you, Dr. Harris Muhammad, but do you have intent in applying for that? Because I think that could be a potential conflict of interest that I could see upcoming.
Yes, sir, I do, but I will not partake in that part of the process with her. Yes, sir. Anything that deals with the superintendent search, I would not be a part of with Ms. Artis.
Board members, what's your comfort level with Dr. Harris Muhammad serving as, do we have a motion to support the superintendent's recommendation?
So first, and Dr. Harris Muhammad knows this is not personal about her, but to Mr. Rogers' point too, I think that superintendent, whether acting or permanent, serving as the board clerk potentially could cause issues. And I know that you say, that you won't participate in that part, but if something were, God forbid, to happen to Ms. Artis and we needed a board clerk during that search, you wouldn't be able to do it. And then, so I would, if we would rather have somebody else that wouldn't maybe have that conflict.
Sure, and that's a good point. Thank you for that, Dr. Tyndall. The way that we are moving forward with our instructional practices, I really do not want to have to pull someone to have attention to detail to that, because of the work that we have to do instructionally. But I will assure you, board members, and not to leave any heartburn for any of you, that I will give you my utmost word that I will continue to support Ms. Artis in other areas until we can just get a lay of the land a little bit instructionally and get some positions in place that we are so looking to do in the immediate future.
Yes, ma'am.
The Code of Virginia does not require appointment of a deputy clerk. So I would suggest at this time that we do not appoint a deputy clerk, but we come back and revisit that at a later time. But that's a suggestion, it's not a motion.
And Dr. Goodwin, if I may, I actually agree with that, because the boards don't need one. And so I know it has been a practice here in the division to have, in the past, a previous superintendent serve as a deputy clerk. So that makes perfect sense. But I wasn't ready to present because I thought that was the temperature of the board. But I do agree. You really do not need a deputy clerk.
Anything else from other board members?
I tend to agree with Dr. Goodwin on this one, because everything the county's been through in the past year, we just don't need to have anything that even looks like improprieties. Let's just table the deputy clerk, and if the need arises, we'll figure something out then.
Was there anybody that wanted to move on that matter from the previous board?
And I would like to motion that we do not name a deputy clerk at this time, but revisit it, let's say in July.
Motion's been moved and properly seconded. Any other discussion on the matter? Those in favor? Any opposed?
Thank you.
Board members, you have information in your board packet regarding VSBA new board member orientation. There is training on March 27th from 10 to 2 at the VSBA office. I think if anybody would like to take part in that orientation, you can let Ms. Artis know, and she'll get you scheduled and registered for that. All right, and then next up is a faculty and staff survey. Ms. Lane, you've put together a survey for us. You want to talk a little bit about what you've done?
Yes, board members, thank you so much. This initiative is the bi-weekly pay initiative. It's a draft. I need to come back with some information for people who don't know what I'm doing. I will read the mission statement. The Southampton County School Board values your opinion and is requesting feedback from all staff regarding possible changes to the pay schedule. This survey is designed to collect data to record how we can better serve you. Our goal is 100% participation, as every response helps inform decisions that have a direct impact on all employees. Thank you for your time and thoughtful input. And this is a survey that it's a draft at this point. There's a total of 7 questions. Number 1, again, this is a draft. How satisfied are you with the parent once per month pay schedule? That's under current experience. Number 2, what problems, if any, are you experiencing with the once a month pay schedule? And that's an open response. Section 2, interest in twice monthly pay. This question will come from, would you prefer to be paid twice per month? Section 3, perceived benefits. Which benefit, if any, do you believe a twice monthly pay schedule will provide you? Section 4, considerations and concerns. Do you have any concerns if the school division decides to move to a twice monthly pay schedule? If yes, please describe your concerns. And the last one, Section 5, implementation preferences. How important is it to you to have a choice in pay frequencies? There are some statements on this draft that will not be on the initial survey. And board members, you can see what's there and what will not be there. Now, I need to ask the board members, is there anything that you would like for me to add to this survey? It's to the point. It doesn't beat around the bush. It won't take you long to do it. Thank you, Christine. And if you're not going to add it or revise this survey, I need a start date, and I also need a timeline. Is it a 2-week, 3-week? I need that from the board.
So let's start with first, any comments back to Ms. Lane regarding the survey? I want to say just really quickly, thank you. I know this has been a issue you've been championing on behalf of the board and behalf of the faculty and staff here for a couple of years at least, maybe more than a couple. I appreciate your work here to try to get some information so we've got some hard data. But any comments or feedback for Ms. Lane?
Thank you. You did a really good job of, like you said, keeping it concise, but getting, I think this will get it all of the information that we're looking for to be able to have to use for data. So thank you.
Ms. Lane, did you have a date that you wanted to try to get this rolling? You want feedback from the board? All right.
No, it's a lot of steps involved. I need to get this done first. I need to hear feedback from, I don't want to do it, and I don't want to do it as a board, ask everybody to give me some feedback. I want it on paper.
Right.
So that
your goal is to take the data that we
Yes.
collect to the board.
Yes.
So I was just thinking that there would be.
How long do you think it would take you to get it to a final form if we haven't given you any feedback tonight on any changes or anything?
Could we run it for 2 weeks, and on the 3rd week, I'll tabulate everything?
So maybe we would start next Monday and run it for 2 weeks?
I don't have a calendar. What's Monday? February 16th?
Yep.
And have that information provided for the next meeting? So I want to give you that information first before I take it to your board of supervisors.
So that would, we started it on the 16th, did it for 2 weeks, it would close on Monday the 2nd of March, and then meet again the following Monday. Right? Yep,
March 2nd.
Yeah. So yeah, that would give you that 3rd week.
March 9th, I will give you feedback from it.
So I think we should take a formal motion to approve the survey and the timeline, as well as the presentation of results.
Can I finish? I think some people may need to know this information because on the last sheet. With approval from the board, this is going to be in a Google form. I am a math teacher. I am not a survey person, so I'm going to ask someone for some help for that. Okay? All right. Final approval from the board. There are a total of 17 part-time personnel. Their full-time personnel is 383, 455, including substitutes, with a total of 472 employees of Southampton County Public Schools. So hopefully I can get 90% of that back. And please understand what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you as individuals, as employees of Southampton County Schools. And I'm also helping the county employees also. I asked for this. Okay. And thank you, board, for giving me these dates, and I will proceed to the next step. Thank you.
I move that we approve the survey as Ms. Lane has done this to start on February the 16th and run through March the 2nd with a presentation to the board of the results on Monday, March 9th at our regular meeting.
All right, I got a motion by Dr. Tyndall and a second by Ms. Hobbs. And any other discussion on the motion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you very much, Ms. Lane. I appreciate you bringing that forward and all the work you put into that.
You're welcome, Chair.
That moves us down to action items, and we have approval of financial report and payment of the bills. Dr. Harris Muhammad.
The payment of bills were uploaded for you in board docs. Ms. Carr is not here this evening, so asking for a motion to approve to pay the bills.
So moved.
That was Ms. Lane, and a second by Ms. King. Any discussion on the motion? All right, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. Dr. Harris Muhammad, could, I know I'm going to put you on the spot probably, but we do have in our packets just some summary of the expenditures and the revenue. Would you mind covering that briefly for us?
Sure. So for the month of January, get myself organized here. I'm sorry.
Take one.
Thank you. What Ms. Carr presented and what we reviewed together was the explanation of what we have spent up by category, board members, to include our instruction, anything coming out of administration, of course, our health benefits, pupil personnel, pupil transportation, operation and maintenance which will continue to increase due to the inclement weather, facilities, debt service and technology. So she categorized this as I believe she has done in the past, as what the original budget was planned for those items, if any revisions that took place, what actual was spent out, the current balance, and then the percent of what has been expended. And when you read through her operating fund, the operating fund of what has been spent out on behalf of the division for the month of January, you can see that we are on track for our spending. And if anything has occurred where we need to allot additional funding for a particular line item, I anticipate our maintenance and facilities, just because what we've gone through the past 9 days with inclement weather, then we will go through the process of making sure that those things are adjusted and reallocated accordingly.
Yeah, it's probably a good place to say thank you to a number of our principals and central office staff, and that we've had a couple of facilities items that have come up that I've seen firsthand really excellent response to respond to those. And quite frankly, I was surprised at how quickly we were able to get kids back to school at Nottoway, and saw teachers and principals and central office and everybody go all hands on deck, and that was a pleasure to see there myself, and so thank you for that work. Board members, did you have any question on the current expenditure pace or anything else regarding the financial report? All right, hearing none, we will move on to, there's an item on Memorandum of Understanding from Western Tidewater Community Services Board. I'm going to excuse myself from this portion of the meeting and turn the floor over to Dr. Tyndall to handle things due to a conflict of interest.
Sure, he'll still be able to hear us, but that's okay. So this is the Memorandum of Understanding with Western Tidewater Community Services Board. Okay. This is coming back to us for the second read.
That is correct.
The BDOE has a document that is called Developing a Memorandum of Understanding School Telehealth and Community Provider Collaboration for Behavioral Health Services. And this document does not include all the components recommended by BDOE in this type of MOU. So I suggest that the board not take action on this document until it includes all the components that are recommended by the Virginia Department of Education. So if you go to the BBOE website, you do find sample MOUs of this type, and this document does not have all the required information.
Do you have a link by any chance to that you could email us just so that we know we're all looking at the same thing.
Just go to BDOE and put in, it's called, developing a memorandum of understanding, school telehealth and community provider collaboration for behavioral health services. So if you just Google that document, then it comes up. So if you look at that document, you know, that document calls for having like a clear protocol for how students are identified and referred to a provider, how care is prioritized. It has in there that you have to talk about, you know, who's responsible in terms of billing and compensation. So you have to clearly state whether it's going to be direct pay or whether it's going to be a third-party billing. You need specific information there about parents doing some kind of release of information. So there are some components. So I think this draft is incomplete, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Can you tell, I'm sorry, so just so I can write it down, what you looked up, you said developing a memorandum.
It's called developing a memorandum of understanding, school telehealth and community provider collaboration for behavioral health services.
On BDOE, it's memorandum of understanding guidance for school behavioral health. And it tells
There's a sample
that as the House bill that it follows. And it has 2 samples, and then it has an effective, like implementing an effective MOU and guidance.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Goodwin. So in part of the memorandum of understanding, which that feedback I'm just hearing this evening, they have followed the Code of Virginia, which is 37.2-500. They have gone through, I'm not familiar with the Virginia School Board Association sample.
This is DOE.
Oh, I'm sorry. But yes, some of the information that they have in the memorandum of understanding does follow, particularly with how they maintain confidentiality, how they will work with the schools to choose the students that they will work with. And so the only minor concern that I had, which could easily be addressed, was the date. Because in the original, when it was the original document that was provided to us, had a date from September to June. Also, I made some notes that they are addressing our alternate education. They will be partnering with our alternate education. Any students that are in our alternate education, say that really fast 3 times, program. FAP, our family assessment planning team, will be a major component. And so I'm not sure.
I think you need to look at the samples that's provided by BDOE, because I have major concerns in terms of this being an incomplete document based on that sample MOU, and I would not like our board to take action at this time.
Okay, so can you phrase that in a motion for us so that we can?
I move that the board delay acting on the MOU until the board receives the MOU. Well, I think it's 2 things I'm asking for. I want to delay action, but I also want to move that the MOU is developed according to the guidelines provided by BDOE. So I move that the board delay action request an MOU in the format given in the guidelines from BDOE.
And that sample is, and I have no objection to that. I just want to be clear that I would not present anything that's incomplete to the board. The sample that Dr. Goodwin, you're referring to is a sample. The Western Tidewater Community Service Board took components of what BDOE under that code has allowed community service boards, not just Western Tidewater Community Service Board, but other community service partners. They just chose pieces that fit for them, but it's a they met the requirement.
Hang on, so we have a motion on the floor to delay action and revise this MOU to mirror what is on the DOE's website. Do we have a second? Second. So it's been motioned by Dr. Goodwin and seconded by Ms. Lane that we, Ms. Lane, right? Yeah, sorry. That we delay action on approving this and revise the MOU. All those in favor, please say aye.
Madam Vice Chair, I'm sorry, the members were here, I didn't get a chance to say this, but they do have representation here that can speak to any questions that board members may have. I just wanted to make sure you all did that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Sorry. Ayes. Ms. Hobbs, Dr. Goodwin, someone else. You said, okay. Sorry, it's hard to hear up here. All right, then those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. So we will.
Will we communicate with them, like the link, the information that we found with BDOE so they know, like?
Yes, yeah, I'll make sure that I reach out, since Mr. Rogers has a conflict, that I reach out and share that information with them, so that we can bring it back at our March 9th board meeting.
And if there are any other questions, if board members can let me know, send me an email, I can gather them up and share with them, send them the questions. Even though they're here, I can just put it in one document. But I got the other information. Thank you, Dr. Goodwin.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Tyndall, for handling that, and Dr. Harris-Mohammed. Get my computer to move back. Let's see where we're headed next. All right, our next item on the agenda is makeup days and calendar adjustment. And Dr. Harris-Mohammed, I think you've prepared some information to show us where we currently stand.
Yes, sir. So we have had a doozy of inclement weather over the past 8 days. And so the school board, voted on a 182-day calendar. And a board member asked specifically a breakdown of, just so you can see what a regular school day is. Of course, we have some early dismissal days that are also in there. So this document shows you the number of days, the hours per day, and the total hours. It also details the missed instructional hours. Now, we might have forgotten December that we missed a few days for December as well. Those days, of course, was not under the governor's emergency, inclement weather emergency. We missed 6 days so far in 2026. And so part of that, once the governor declared a state of emergency due to inclement weather, school divisions were allowed to implement remote, asynchronous, virtual learning days if the school divisions provided the meals for the students, which our school division did for a few days. So the remote days, it also demonstrates the remote days that count, the hours per day, and the total hours. Where we stand right now, without remote days, scheduled hours is 1,148. If you subtract the missed hours, which was 58 missed hours, that leaves us 1,090. We are required 990 instructional hours. That's in the Code of Virginia. Hours over the required hours is 100. So we are pretty good. So what we need to begin doing tonight is hoping for no more snow. Okay?
Most of us started that a few days ago.
If not before. And the approximate school days over required hours is 15.38. So the question on families and parents, and even our minds, do we have to make up any days? That's what teachers want to know, students want to know. Right now, we do not, because we did feed our students, excuse me, for the days, for several days that they were out. And we also doubled up on a Friday. If we all remember, Friday throughout the afternoon, it started to show a weather system for that Monday. So we doubled up with our students for that Monday. So right now, we're over about 19.38. So we're okay right now. So in hopes that we do not miss any more.
I'm sorry, that's with remote days, and so
Correct.
if we did not count the remote days, we'd be at 15.38.
That is correct. We will still be over.
Correct. Any questions, comments, thoughts from the board? And so right now, what I understood, Dr. Harris-Mohammed, is that your recommendation is that we don't need to alter the calendar at this point in time.
Not at this point,
Board members?
but I will keep you posted.
And I should probably know this. How many of these days were missed in second semester?
We delayed second semester by 3 days, I believe. So three days, I believe.
Okay.
And I want to thank the curriculum and instruction team and our technology director for working with me to develop this plan, or develop the information.
Others?
I just like to thank Dr. Harris-Mohammed and her team that just mentioned, because this looks like a tedious endeavor. It looks like we had to really think about it.
We did. We had to count. I mean, literally, calculators and working with each other. And we were off like a couple of hours, so we had to go back. We just had to have a different set of eyes and calculating the information. So they did a phenomenal job. Thank you for that, Ms. Lane.
Superintendent's recommending no action there, so unless we have a motion, we'll move on. That brings us to our acting superintendent's report outs. So we just did instructional hours. Is that the same report out as instructional hours? Okay.
And then I do have updates. Yep, that I would like to present to you all. Board members, you as our HR coordinator to move forward with a culture and climate survey. I have worked with Ms. Hutchison to ensure that our culture and climate survey is a survey that is not lengthy, that hits to the core, and also some of the sample questions comes from the VDOE Culture and Climate Survey that comes out every other year for elementary, middle, and high school. So the questions that were used were not questions that are not already applicable that are being used by VDOE. Just wanted to share that with you. In your packets and also in board docs are the calendars for each school for the month of February. Some information on our operations, and I know we may have some questions to talk about this section because of what we just went through the past 8 days. And just want to take a moment to say thank you to every single team member, every single individual that showed up at Nottoway Elementary School when they had water damage due to the inclement weather. It was very cold. However, they really demonstrated, community members and board members, that we are better together. We just pitched in, we cleaned up, we supported Ms. Nottaway, and Ms. Street and her team to make sure that they were online. They just missed the day. But here was the beautiful thing. Those students were able to pick up their meals from Riverdale Elementary School. So kudos to Riverdale and their staff. Also, just work so quickly. Our maintenance team, our custodians, Dr. Melby, thank you, everyone. Our safety and security, we came together to ensure that whatever Ms. Street needed in that moment, that we were able to provide for that. Also, Dr. Melby made sure that our students in transition, also identified as McKinney-Vento, during the inclement weather had meals if they were not able to come out. Family, we have students that are residing in RVs, they're in hotels, and they're in some areas that I would not necessarily count as safe. So we wanted to make sure that they were taken care of as well. In your board docs, in the PowerPoint, it shares with you some of the things that we had to go through the past 2 weeks in our buildings. From a boiler to a main breaker to pipes freezing, then thawing out, the electricity not operable, which caused a lot of things to come off play in the building, or come offline, excuse me, in Nottaway Elementary School. So the weather that we just experienced did a doozy in many of our buildings. However, we worked expeditiously to ensure that minimum instructional loss was going to happen with our students in the building. Work continues to progress on the student health building. The foundation, I don't want to mess up his name, but OBC Foundation grant awarded for that equipment. So they're continuing to work in that process, but I cannot stress enough. Just want to slow down a little bit, because I cannot stress enough the work that the team did to ensure that heat and the boilers were working and the generators. And I know I've said it again, but it has been a long 8 or 9 days to ensure that we could come back online. From our human resources and marketing.
Before you go on, Dr. Harris-Mohammed, I think this maybe is a good place for the board members to, if there's some questions. I've got a couple, but I wanted to open the floor. Do we have any questions around the work that was done at Nottaway, or any of the interruption in learning there, or any of that recovery?
I have a comment. Do we have a document that tracks when the generators and things like that are regularly checked or serviced?
Dr. Melby, do we have a document that tracks this information, things that, you can come up and then, thank you, but don't trip on the way.
Good evening, everyone. Yes, Ms. King, we do run with Carter Machinery out of Chesapeake for our PMs on the on our generators right now, and the running list is on the machine itself. And then once it's complete, we also get an email verification back once that check is done. But this kind of highlighted an opportunity to look to progress.
What about the boilers? Are they the same company? Like the boilers?
No. No, ma'am. A warranty? The youngest boiler that I know that's in this division is 10 years old. So,
Do we keep?
10.
But do we have like a maintenance plan, like we know like it's old, so are we like, do we budget for like, we know it's getting there, we might need a new one type, I mean like, from what I've been told, there's issues with the one at Riverdale a lot.
We're working on that one. It was for years a deferred maintenance piece on the second boiler at Riverdale. So it has been running on one. It's a redundancy system. So we actually just talked this week and looked at, have reached out and gotten 2 quotes so far for a new boiler.
it's too new of a school to be having the heating issues. Like, I feel like that's something that we need to stay on top of.
I think one of the things that stood out to me was, as we're nearing budget season, our capital improvement plan can include the facilities upgrades that we've talked about for a while, a new Capron Elementary School, a new Southampton Middle School, but we also probably need to have a running list of some of these ongoing maintenance and upgrade things that we just need to keep up with. You know, I know in my home that my heating and AC unit's probably going to need a replacement within a 20-year life cycle. Our buildings are not significantly different, particularly if and they can be extended by keeping up with maintenance, but parts last for so long. So one of the asks I was going to put forth to the budget committee tonight was that we work with Dr. Melby and Dr. Harris Mohammed to ensure that we've got a CIP that includes some of those items and they're clearly spelled out and budgeted so that we can identify those as upcoming costs with the county, and we can hopefully appropriate some dollars or earmark some dollars that are going to be able to improve those items.
Dr. Miller,
Yes, ma'am.
tentatively, you have given us a breakdown of the things that we're going to put on the thing, budget. Are you going to revise it and put these forward with it?
The pieces on the budget that were in the, on there, yes, I believe they were a part, there was a whole HVAC component for the entire division for just a redo. And that's been, you know, a discussion point for a couple of years, and it's about a $5.5 million investment to take down everything in the county from rooftop units to individual classroom components in order to make it happen and bring us all brand new, and change the controls out and the whole back end of the system as well to help our functionality and efficiency within the buildings. But I think no matter what age you get to, some of these things are going to fail regardless. We could look at the chiller at Meharon a few years ago, chiller at Nottoway. They both were less than 15 years old and both went out. So they've been changed over the years, and so that was one of the things in the CIP part of my budget presentation was the capital improvement items, and the HVAC was a part of it. Yes, ma'am. Kind of went a thought. I guess we could take it into the budget part, but of how finite do we want to break down that HVAC piece? If we want to look more at the big components, but the thing is, if you get the big components but you don't carry the little ones, it's not going to really matter.
Well, I think you could do it, look at it school by school or building by building, right? I mean, I don't foresee us ever getting enough money to redo it, all the schools and buildings at one time. I mean, I don't know, it's going to be my second budget cycle.
I understand what you're saying, and if we took that approach to it where we wanted to, where we chunked it out year by year, whichever contractor we do bid out with and go with, that would be something that we could work with them as to, they would help us identify those absolute high priority needs of what we want to do, but we have to be able to get to that point where we're going to commit that money over the next 3 years, the next 5 years, or we're going to be able to mobilize and knock it out all in 1 year. So those are questions to be answered down the line.
I think perhaps we're talking about two different things, because one, I think what Ms. King is talking about is what's going to be in the upcoming budget, and I think you're talking about what's going to be in the strategic plan. So I think we're talking about two different things, and I think that what Ms. King is trying to get to is that in the budget, and we know that the superintendent is the one who prepares a needs-based budget to present to the Board of Supervisors. So her question is, make sure that you include in that budget.
And that's where I was getting to with the, how far do we want to chop that thing up down the line?
Next year.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tina.
No, you're fine.
Yeah.
Average it, you got it. But yeah, I mean, because we talk about boilers, generators, this and that, like, just talking about it, we need to like put it on paper and make sure it's understandable by all that are looking at it when it
Absolutely. Anything else, board members? All right. Sorry to interrupt this.
No, you're fine. So, to your point, Ms. King and Dr. Goodwin, absolutely. So in the capital improvement plan, we'll outline what we need to ensure that some of our facilities, if not all of our facilities, are operating on a maintenance calendar and the things that they need, so they will not continue to pour from the one working boiler, because it's like your HVAC system in your home, if you will. If one goes down, it's gonna stress the other. And so that's what has been happening in my professional opinion. Delayed maintenance is never good maintenance. And so I would, in the budget, in the categorical budget that I will be presenting, and the capital improvement budget, which is a part of that, I will show some of our needs that we have occurring and reoccurring. Okay. Thank you. Our SPS is growing, and we've talked about positions that are vacant, that are instructionally based, that these are positions that are not new positions. They are positions that have been requested and the budget that were requested in the budget in the F24-25 budget as well. And so just wanted to share with you some of the things that our human resources coordinator and some of our staff members are participating in, job fairs too. We know that our division sits in a very unique area, and to pull from a pool of wonderful people, or people who apply, we want to show that Southampton County Public Schools is a place that people want to learn, grow, and work in. And so our HR coordinator will be participating with some of our staff in some events that directly correlate with interviewing on site. So just basic job fairs and career fairs that we are going to be participating in. Some instructional updates from our curriculum team, who I believe really has a strong focus on literacy, because that is the focus in the state of Virginia right now, is our literacy. And also, while I'm on the slide, I participated in a state superintendent's meeting with our state superintendent of public instruction, newly appointed by the governor, Superintendent Jen Conway, and she talked about some of the aches and pains of going through the new accountability system, and some things that we need to be focused on and continuing. She has an elementary and pre-K background, so wanting to bridge the gap with that, with early literacy, and making sure that our students coming out of pre-K are more than well prepared to move into kindergarten and then first grade. They're continuing to do the basics that improve instructional outcomes for our students. That's walkthroughs, feedback, monitoring, working with our teachers, coaching our teachers, all hands on deck, boots on the ground. And so this is what we're continuing to do to ensure that our student outcomes are improved, and that we are continuing to move in the right trajectory with our instructional program. So due to the inclement weather, of course, we had to rearrange some things. For example, the Region 6 Odyssey of the Mind. I also wanted to share that because this is one of my major focus points as your Division Director of Testing, were students who were identified needing a locally awarded verified credit. You all passed a policy last year that by a certain date, they have to be identified, communication has to be sent home. That has been done. The high school has been working extremely hard along with central office staff to ensure that that has happened. Some workshops, professional development is occurring. Some is mandated based off of our literacy program and other areas that we are working on. We talked about MTSS and BTSS at our work session, so I won't go through that. But the continued information in the PowerPoint just speaks to where we are with our special education. They are, I would say, doing a lot of hard work to ensure that due to the inclement weather, the meetings that were scheduled, they are immediately rescheduling those meetings, those eligibility meetings, so IEP meetings that they support. And they're also in schools working with the case managers and the teachers to ensure that services, if missed, will be caught up with our students.
Yeah, the DOE doesn't care about whether when it comes to those eligibility timelines, we have to hold some virtually so that we were.
Absolutely, staying within that time frame that we're allotted to stay in. Yes, ma'am. So our website, our new website is live, including integrated and subscribable calendars. Thank you to Mr. Hatch and Ms. Bold, who is doing a lot of work and has done a lot of work on our website. We have completed our fall SOL testing, and so in the next couple of weeks, maybe at the next meeting, we can talk about where we are right now, just on the high school level, because they're the only school that has fall SOL testing, and where we need to be. I am hoping with the work that we're continuing to do that the high school will remain distinguished. That's the goal, that we will continue to level up and not level down. Okay. Here it just basically goes over the Office of Testing report. Ms. Bold and I work very closely. Of course, we've had to revise our testing calendar, which we linked in the PowerPoint for your review, just if you had some questions or wanted to see what we were doing in the area of testing. The State Office of Student Assessment extended fall SOL testing to February 20th, but we don't need that time, but it was good that they allotted that time for us. We will be participating in mandated testing training in the next couple of weeks in Richmond to talk about the upcoming changes that they may have, and then also any new legislation that deals directly with state testing. And there's a beautiful picture for you. Thank you so much. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman and board members. I'll take any questions.
Thank you, Dr. Harris-Mohammed. I appreciate the comprehensive report. Board members, you'll note the 2026 VSBA Regional Spring Art Forum announcement is in your packets. We're almost there. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're almost there. You're good. And so we are at student enrollment report, Dr. Harris-Mohammed, and also student teacher attendance report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and no way I was rushing you. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to miss anything. So currently, our student enrollment without pre-K is 2,206, and with pre-K, and also that includes our students with disabilities that have that are in pre-K as well, is 2,333 students currently in the division. And the attendance report brought my clapper. My team knows I love my clapper. I know, did I scare you? It's really big. This was a gift from Riverdale. So our student, the school with the student attendance, the highest student attendance is Riverdale Elementary School with 96.34%. But I just want to say, just because they gave me this doesn't mean that I made them the winner. That's not true. And then the staff attendance report goes to Meharron Elementary School with 95.41%. Congratulations.
there's also the district calendars from each of the schools are in our board member packets that you can review at your leisure and participate as you are able to do so in some of those school activities. Matters from the board, wanted to provide a brief update on the superintendent search. The board was able to meet last Thursday with VSBA, who will be handling the superintendent search on behalf of the county in the upcoming months. We established a timeline that we will be following in order to gather feedback from the community, to identify the requirements for the new superintendent as we post the position, gather applications, and ultimately interview and select a candidate. One of the things that we were able to get up tonight was the QR code for a community survey that we reviewed and approved at that work session with the VSBA. And so that has gone out or should go out on division social media. The QR code's here, it's live, and anybody that's ready to take it can fill in that survey. That was also released in a news release that went out, I believe, on Friday, Ms. Artis. Yep, and so we'll be gathering that information, and we will review that during an upcoming public hearing scheduled for February 18th at 6 p.m. here at Southampton High School in the Commons area. So we'll invite the public also to share directly with the board any comments that they have regarding criteria for selecting a new superintendent and what the community values at that point. So we'll be entertaining comments there. Any questions, any comments from the board, anything that I might have missed that I want to make sure that you point out? I want to thank Ms. Artis. She ran around with a whole task list that we had given to her on things. I saw the printed surveys are here out in the lobby. I'm guessing that they're at all of our schools already too. And we've got copies at the library that people can fill out. Tomorrow. We'll have copies at the library tomorrow for folks to fill out there as well. Those can be returned either at the school or will be collected from the point where they're at, and that information will be added to any online surveys. I want to encourage the community and others to fill that out. It helps to have the information on what's important to our community so that as we identify a number of those job requirements for the new superintendent, what's important to our community can get reflected in the work that we do. All right. The budget calendar. So the budget calendar is going to need a couple of revisions. Dr. Harris-Mohammed, I know because of the inclement weather and some of the things that have gone on facilities-wise, you've asked for a short reprieve to get information together for us. Can you give us an idea of what you're planning to do or what you'd like to proceed with?
Absolutely. So I am just asking for a week delay. We want to have a work session just for my acting superintendent proposed budget presentation. I did send out a message, a possible budget committee work session with the school board budget committee for Wednesday, the 11th at 5:30, same time as last week meeting. If our budget work committee can attend that, that would be great, because that's what we were missing because of inclement weather, that second meeting to prepare for the presentation as well. And of course, just want to be clear that the legwork is with my office, is with me. And I am dedicated, fully dedicated to ensuring that a balanced budget is presented to you. I did not want to miss that second budget work session. And then also, kudos to my colleagues, the team over there. We dived through during our leadership meeting the budgets from every department. And so we all have a critical understanding of the needs of our budget as well as our school division. So I am just possibly asking for a week after Wednesday. And then you all can let me know when you would like for me to do like a work session or a special meeting. I will be ready.
What is the pleasure of the board? Questions, comments? How would we like to proceed with the request for approximately approximately a week delay. So just as a reminder, our original budget calendar had a budget committee work session on the 4th that has been delayed now to the 11th. And we were scheduled to have a school board work session on the budget on February 11th, the same date as that committee meeting would be rescheduled to. So what's the pleasure of the board in regards to seeing the proposed budget and follow-up work session? Yeah, Dr. Tyndall just suggested that we take a look at the 18th when we're already scheduled to be here for the public hearing. If we would want to receive the budget that night, could mean a long evening. Board members, what's your pleasure? We'll pack some lunch and sleeping bags and coffee.
You might need a blanket.
Okay, so we will have the acting superintendent present the budget to us in a work session on February 18th, following the public hearing session. And I assume that means we can leave our February 25th session at 6 p.m. in place on this calendar, and all the future dates after that we would be caught up. Ms. Artis, you'll make sure that you get the announcements out as required for all of those. So what we're doing is we'll be expanding the agenda for the 18th to include not just the public hearing, but also the budget presentation.
Board members, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the grace.
Now I gotta get back to the right meeting. I had to go back to another agenda calendar. I believe that is all we have left for business, with the exception of returning back to closed session. If we would like to make a motion to return to closed session to cover pursuant to section 2.2-3711A 1 and 2 of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, the board, upon a motion and a second, will convene in a closed meeting to consider personnel and student matters for the 25 and 26 year, as well as to review the applications for the Committee on Transparency and Accountability.
Second.
I have Tyndall with a first and Lane with a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?